Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show, where you'll find health and fitness inspiration, motivation, and information shared in 15-minute episodes. Tune in while getting a move on to make leading and enjoying the benefits of a healthy lifestyle almost too easy. It's the Fit 15. And now your host, Catherine Basu.
Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show. I am your host, Catherine Basu. And today's episode of the Fit 15 is one in a mini series I am running in honor of the 1-year anniversary of the publication of my book, Superwomen Secrets Revealed. Successful women talk about fitting in fitness and dare you to join them. You can find a copy of the book anywhere books are sold, but also if you go over to fitarmadillo.com/books. I do have a limited number of hardback copies here at Fit Armadillo headquarters, and I'm happy to sign and dedicate the book to you if you would like to have one personalized. So definitely reach out if you have any questions on that. For the podcast, though, the mini series is going to include interviews with successful women who talk about how and why they fit in fitness, much like the book does, and then also share a fun, actionable step you can take to start enjoying the many benefits of fitness for yourself. So that's our Fitting in Fitness Dare. So definitely stay tuned for those, and I hope you'll listen to a few episodes and accept at least one dare this month so you can start enjoying the many benefits of fitness that my guests and I enjoy for yourself. All right, so today's guest is Beth Bridges, who is actually one of the successful women that I did interview for my book. So definitely go and check out her interview and story there. She has a lot of inspiration to share. And because she was already in the book, we tried to chat about some different topics and give you a new dare in today's episode. So I hope you'll enjoy that even if you have already read the book. If you don't know Beth, I want to introduce you to her. She is the author of Networking on Purpose, a 5-part networking success plan to build a powerful and profitable business network, which she wrote after attending over 2,500 networking events in 10 years. She has since leveraged networking to speak at organizations across North America, land a dream job in 18 hours, and launch a digital marketing agency without advertising. She shares a simple and easy-to-use strategy to help new networkers, provides detailed techniques on how to comfortably navigate events, and provides details on using advanced techniques for executives and experienced networkers. Beth, welcome to the podcast show. I'm so excited to have you joining us today.
Hi, Catherine. I am excited to be here, of course.
The first thing I wanted to ask you, Beth, is something connected to the reason I wrote the book, which was to show people the parallels between fitness and moving more and success in one's business and personal life. And networking is one of your big passions. So I'd love for you to share for us how keeping up with your fitness and networking are alike.
They really are alike in a lot of ways. And I think part of that is just because I love my fitness and I love networking. So I'm always seeing parallels. But here's part of the story. Part of the story is that I started running, 7 or 8 years ago. And I kept a running journal, right? Because Runner's World said, keep a running journal. I'm like, okay. And ended up deciding I'm going to do a little local 5K. And there I am in the back with, I call them the conversational joggers, right? They're more conversing than they are running.
Sure.
And people pushing strollers and conversing, because since then I've had my butt whooped by people pushing strollers fast. But so here I am struggling in the back, and I'm working really hard. I mean, like hard. And I finished, and I tried to not be frustrated. You know, it was the first one, and then I did another one, and I'm in the back, and I did another one, and I thought, how can this be? I'm running all the time. How can it be so slow? So I go back to my running journal. And it turns out that I'm running maybe twice a week, maybe once a week. I'm like, well, that right there might be your problem. But it seemed like I was doing so much. And that's what I found with a lot of people in networking And by networking, I don't just mean going to networking events, but I mean specifically doing things designed to build a network. Like you wrote a book,
Mm-hmm.
and part of the reason you did that was to build a really strong network.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And people feel like they're doing a lot of it, but if they go back and they actually look and they track it, they're just not doing as much as they thought they did. So I know we get a lot of training, work smarter, not harder.
Right.
But sometimes you just got to work harder, unless you're really, 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 really smart. When I realized that I was running that little, I thought, maybe if I run just 3 or 4 times a week, even if it's just a little bit, maybe I'll get better. And guess what I did? And it's very, very similar for people who are, if there's almost anything that you're frustrated with that you're not getting better, you think you're doing more than you probably are.
So true. I found that for myself when I'm trying to train for events, and definitely for my clients as well. Whenever one of my clients has hit a plateau, I make sure that we can look at some data and what they've actually been eating and what their workouts actually look like.
Yes, and one of the things I love about running is that the numbers don't lie.
Right.
Either you're doing the miles, you're not doing the miles, or you have a certain time or you don't have a certain time. And here's to extend the analogy even further between networking and running. So for a long time, I did a lot of networking. I mean, I was like the ultra runner of networking, right? Like these people who get, I only got 90 miles in this week, I need to hit 110 miles this week. I was that person, except with networking. I averaged about 25 networking events a month, which there are only 22 actual working days on average in a month.
Right.
So
Right.
you can see how that works. And it brought results, of course. And like in fitness, if you're working out like that and you're not getting hurt, you're going to have incredible results. You're going to be an ultra runner, or you're going to be super, super fit. But ain't nobody got time for that all the time.
Right.
And so I am now at a point. Last year, Catherine, my weekly average in running was 20 miles. That was it. And I was the Masters Women's Champion for the Valley Runner of the Year on 20 miles a week.
See? If you're trying to get in a 15-minute workout and you need to turn around, that's your halfway point for 15 minutes.
And they'd be preparing for marathons, and we'd see them on a Sunday, and we're like, oh, how's it going? They go, only 15 miles to go. They were doing 20 miles one day a week. That's all I did all week. But like my networking now, I don't do that many networking events. Everything I do is extremely focused. It's extremely high value. That's how my running workouts are. They have a very specific purpose. They have some tremendous intensity, and there's a lot of experience behind it as well. That makes a difference. I have a running coach, and having a coach is one of the most important things you can possibly do. A coach or a trainer or a mentor or whatever you want to call them, they shorten the way for you.
Oh, absolutely. It's great to have the expertise and experience of someone who's been there before. So, would love to have you share for us, Beth. I know you shared this in the book, and actually, it was something that made you a fan favorite because you're one of the only women who did not share that she worked out in the morning. But in addition to having your running coach, how do you stick to your workouts?
So I will admit that has changed a little bit since the book came out, but it's still very relevant. So so I have a schedule. It's a training schedule, and it's Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, and then I do train in the mornings on Saturday and Sunday. And that's,
Got it.
A lot of that is weather related here where I am. It gets very, very hot in the summer, and you just kind of get into the habit of running early. But the evening workouts are great too. And I see why people do morning workouts, because you can do them in the morning before everything goes to heck, right?
Right.
But on the other hand, here's how I keep to my schedule. I do not miss a training session. And part of it is that people feel like when they make a decision, it's hard because they constantly have to work on that. But But really, the thing about making a decision is I made that decision once.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to run with this group, and we're going to run on Tuesday nights, and we run on Saturday morning, and that's that. It's actually very easy because there's no other decisions to make. There's no arguing with yourself. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go. I don't know if I'm going to do this. It's just, that's what you do. And as well, having a team, having a coach. If I just stop showing up, he's not going to coach me anymore.
Right.
And that's part of it. It's also a group of people. So there's 3 of us, sometimes 4. And everyone's better when you all work together. So if I don't show up, not only do I not get better, but it lets my teammates down. It doesn't
Right.
make them better.
Right.
And there's peer pressure, of course, like, hey, where were you? You know, must be nice if you can just slough off your workouts, and you know, that as well. And there's also, for me, there's some pride involved in, you know, hey, this is how I do it. Now, I don't have kids, so that makes it a lot easier because, you know, kids in chaos start with the same sound. But I realized that it makes things a little bit easier.
Right, for sure.
Now I have aging parents
Mm.
now. And so, you know, you get that phone call, hey, taking your dad to the hospital, can you come help me? You know,
Right,
that's
right.
you have that. So, but scheduling things out, I'm a little bit competitive. All right, I'm a lot competitive. So that helps a lot, because here's why. Here's especially why. I mean, it helps to be competitive because it makes you try really hard. But when you want to compete, it's like you've made a promise to yourself that you're going to put in the full effort.
Mm.
And there's nothing worse than doing something and at the end feeling like I could have done better.
Yep.
And the other part of it as well is that I don't exercise. People are like, oh, you're so fit, you exercise all the time. I don't exercise. I train, but I don't exercise. And training is much more serious thing than exercise, right? I'm going to miss
Very
my
true.
exercise session versus I'm going to miss my training session. So I think of it as training, and that is a complete mind shift, even though it's still kind of the same thing, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's for ourselves and then also socially when we go out, because I know for me, when I've been training for a marathon and someone's asking why I don't want to have another glass of wine or have a glass of wine, and I say that it's because I'm training for my marathon and I have a long run tomorrow and I don't want to feel dehydrated, that's a lot different reaction than when I'm not training and, oh, I want to go to the gym tomorrow morning.
Exactly. Yes, too. That is a very good point. It helps people not be like, here, you want an extra cookie or you want an extra. I'm in training. And you know, instead of, if you're like, oh, I work out, they're like, well, if you work out, then you can afford to have a cookie.
Right.
Right? No, I'm in training. And so it does kind of help with some of that peer pressure of, you know, unhealthy eating and some of the unhealthy habits. Yeah, that's a good, I do use that. Oh, sorry, I'm in training. Oh, come on, nobody will know. My coach will know, and then I'll be in trouble. You know, like your coach or, you know, your trainer, like you could probably give permission to say, no, Catherine will, no, she'll be after me if I do this. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
my
I
coach
always.
is like, yeah, you can make me the bad guy, he says all the time. I'm like, good, I will.
I love that.
But not to disappoint your readers who said, oh, I love it that she doesn't work out in the morning. I have started a morning routine.
Okay.
And I have the opportunity to do that now because I'm working for myself. I mean, I still get up at the same time every morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I was full-time employed in a job, you know, a job that started at 8 a.m., you'd have to be up at like 5, and
Right.
that's
Right.
hard.
Right.
But I do still get started, you know, early in the morning, but I get up, I've added a core strengthening
Mm-hmm.
to my training and upper body strengthening, but it's only 10, maybe 15 minutes in the morning. And so I get up, I get my coffee, I check my Twitter feed. I love Twitter.
I need to get into it more.
It's brought me a lot of really great connections and great people. But I have conversations with people about networking, about my topic while I'm having my coffee. And then I do my core routine, and then I do meditation.
Oh, that sounds like a great morning routine. Now, did you consciously add in that workout piece Because I know a lot of people I've talked to try to start their days with some kind of movement just because it adds more focus and creativity, or how did that come about?
It's interesting if you read people who talk about morning routines.
Hmm.
Almost everybody has, here's the morning routine to get you started. Tim Ferriss has them, and Tony Robbins, they all have them. But I think the important thing is they need to be positive things, right?
Hmm.
But where you get an hour into your morning and you're like, I've already done this, check, check, check. Just the fact that you've done the things that you need to do, you've done some of the things that you need to do already is like, all right, 8 a.m. and I'm already getting stuff done.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people that are able to work out and get their full
Yeah.
workout in, I think that's why they like it because it's, they're already done with that, and that can be a real challenge for a lot of
Yeah.
people. So it's just that feeling of accomplishment, whether it's for the
Yes.
workout or anything.
And you're definitely right. There are workouts and routines that are going to make you feel energized. They're going to make you feel great for the rest of the day. My Tuesday night workouts, I couldn't do that in the morning and then function the rest of the day. They're definitely high intensity. Tuesday night is my extreme high intensity workout.
Sure. Now, I don't want to spoil the book for anyone who hasn't read it, but
Oh,
one thing that really stuck out for me was that even though you have all these amazing accomplishments now, truly is that there is really more to the story here, and it's been more of a journey for you. I don't know if you can touch on that.
I'll just give some hints because I really think you're right. Your readers should go back and read the chapter because it's kind of an unfolding of the
Right.
story. But well, here's the most important point. Here's the most important point about it is that at one point, let's see, in the last 20 years, I was actually over medicated in a way that was not healthy at all by professional doctors who should have known better than
Mm.
to have me on those level of medications. And I was told at one point, oh, you'll be on these for the rest of your life.
Ah.
I'm not. So nah. Actually, it was worse than that, what they said, but it was discouraging in the extreme.
Hmm.
I was probably a good 35 pounds overweight, and I'm not very tall. So
Hmm.
it was 5 pant sizes from where
Wow.
I am now. Oh, yeah. And now I'm actually faster than I was. I ran in high school. I was on the high school track team. I was on the high school cross country team. I'm 3 times older and 3% faster and getting faster. And the important thing is for your listeners and for your readers to understand it is never, ever too late. You are never too
Mm.
old. You're never too slow. It's never over.
Hmm.
Always get better. And I just laugh now because I thought I was too old to run. I thought I was too old to run. And now I'm looking at competing nationally and the potential of being nationally competitive against my age group, right? Okay, high schoolers today would just still smoke me on the track. I mean, although I beat a whole handful of them at a track meet last weekend, I was pretty satisfied. I'm like,
I
yes.
mean, hey, I got beat by at least 2 8-year-olds in a 5K I ran over Thanksgiving, so
Oh my gosh.
the struggle is real, but
Exactly. I got beat by a 12-year-old once. And my friends are like, look, she's a quarter your age and she's a foot and a half taller. I'm like, okay, you're right. I don't feel so bad. I'll get her next year though. But it doesn't matter. It's one of the things
yeah.
that I love about running too, is that I found I'm digging through, how you go digging through stuff and cleaning out folders. I found a folder from 2011. It was goals I had set in 2011 and written them down on some 3x5 cards and just tucked them away, right?
Hmm.
My goal in 2011 was to run a mile in 7:59 or better. Well, this past weekend, I was second out of 9 women in a mile race on the track, and I ran it in 6:46.
Wow.
Right? So, we forget sometimes, and my point, I'm bragging a little bit. Sorry, I'm bragging a little bit. I was pretty happy with it. And that's also faster than my best high school time. But the point is that we do a lot of things and we get better at them but we don't know we're better at them because we haven't set any benchmarks and we haven't tracked what we've done or how we've done it or how we used to do it. And there's some things where it's kind of hard to do that with, but there's other things that are easy. Running is easy. I can see what my best times are and I can compare them.
Right.
But even things like relationships, I know there's books and stories out there about, what is it, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate how I am as a wife and partner right now? Oh, well,
Sure.
you're probably a 7. Okay, what would it take to get me to a 10? You might be able to track that. You might be able to track, well, like in networking, you can track how easily am I able to, say, launch a business, not have to spend any money on advertising, or how quickly could I get a new job? Those are the kind of things that you can track. And I think in fitness and in life, we should track these things so that we can encourage ourselves.
I love that. I mean, I saw something at a gym that was what doesn't get measured doesn't improve, and it felt a little cheesy, but I think that's so true for fitness, like they were trying to tell us, but also for everything in life, right? I mean, if you don't know where you stand, you can't. And this kind of brings us back to what we started talking about, right?
Yeah.
The importance of tracking and seeing where you actually are and how many workouts you're actually doing. And
yes, measured and reviewed, right? Because
yes.
I wrote down my workouts for like 2 years. I went back and reviewed them and said, that might be your problem.
No, I really appreciate you sharing that because you're so full of inspiration and have every right to brag, because it really has been the result of you putting in all this hard work, and should be very proud of that.
It has been a journey, that is for sure. And I think I covered a range of that in the book and in my chapter. Those who want to those who might be listening now and thinking, oh, well, that's all well and fine for you, miss. I can beat high schoolers in track, but they got to go back and read where this all started. Because like I did some 5Ks and I was in the back and I was working hard.
Right,
I was in the back with the conversational stroller pushing, people who are just out there for socializing. I'm like, could you be quiet? I'm struggling here, and they're talking away and just, not even sweating. And I'm, dying.
That's too funny. I had that happen when I was running my first marathon. Someone took a phone call a few miles into the race.
Like, how's it going? Oh, fine. How are you? Oh, I'm just running a marathon.
It was pretty much like that.
Oh my gosh. I would have, if I'd have had the energy, I'd have probably, hey, working here. Right. That's how I felt. Yeah. And these were just 5Ks. I mean, like a mile and a half into it, I'm like, shut up. People,
it's pretty funny, but
yeah.
I think it's a good reminder for anyone listening who might be afraid to run a race of any length that there are always people of all levels of seriousness and ability in any race.
Oh yeah. Gosh, even though I run at the front of them now, I can tell you, and I run with some people. I mean, I run with some people, like serious people. They admire every single person that comes out there. People should know there is in no way, maybe once in a while there's some snotty, 1 in 1,000 elite runner who thinks you're slow.
Right.
But the other 999 think you're awesome for being out there. And no one should feel intimidated by those, maybe feel intimidated by their speed, but in their head, those elite runners are admiring you. They're
true. Yeah.
Yeah. In my head, when I see other people running, I'm like, you go. Good for you. Keep going. Don't stop. You're going to love it. Get better. Keep going. That's what the elite runners are thinking about those who, are staggering in at the cutoff.
Yep.
They're happy for you and they are encouraging you and they want you to love running as much as they do.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. The running community is super supportive, and that's why one of the many reasons why I love being a runner.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. Absolutely. And it is interesting how when you start competing, how that still works. I mean, I'm lined up with people and I'm like, looking at her, I'm like, I am so going to beat you. I am going to beat you. I am going to beat you. And then afterwards, like we love each other.
Right. No, it's true.
Yeah. it makes you, it does make you better. I mean, competing really makes you work that much harder.
Oh, for sure. All right, so you've shared a lot of great inspiration today and some of the how as to how you fit fitness into your routine when you're not out there networking. But would love to have you now share with us, Beth, a fitting in fitness dare, something simple but actionable that listeners can do to start enjoying these benefits of fitness that we both know about. So maybe it's your dare from the book, maybe it's something related to running since we've been talking about that. What do you dare our listeners to do?
Yeah, I do. I have a new fitness dare.
I love it.
And my fitness dare is to go out to your local track and run what I call a hot lap. I think they call it a hot lap in like NASCAR or something like that. Like, go out and run a hot lap. Like, warm up real good.
Mm-hmm.
The shorter the race, the longer the warm up. Like for a marathon, touch your toes and go to the bathroom. You're warmed up. For a 400 meter, for one lap, that's 400 meters. Like, you need about a 20-minute warm up, right? Make sure you're super loose. And if you run just a little bit, make sure you're wearing, your good shoes and you stretch real good. And then get out your stopwatch, have a friend time you, and run that lap as hard as you can. And write down your time. And then keep going with your fitness routine, because you can be a fit runner by doing other fitness things. Be a better runner by doing other things. And it's one of those, we've talked so much, Catherine, about being able to measure where you are.
Right. It's definitely been a theme.
And how fast you can run that quarter mile is a real good idea of your fitness. It's kind of anaerobic, right? It's definitely anaerobic. You marathon runners do not understand the absolute not joy of going anaerobic. It burns.
Sometimes I try to think about doing it, but then I rethink that thought. So
I challenge you to go out and do your
like, maybe I'm gonna have to take this dare.
You are gonna
get out there, right?
How fast can you run a lap? And then repeat it every 3 months or 6 months or every year and just see.
Yeah.
Because it's also, so running that fast, that short of a distance, it's anaerobic. It's a lot of core. So if your core is strong, which everybody should have a really strong core, like, I don't care what your sport is or what kind of fitness you like, if you're not working on your core, you're going to be sorry.
Yep, no, that's true.
And so running fast is a great indicator of how strong your core is. And that's my challenge. Go out and run a hot lap. Write the time down and save it and see how that improves with time.
That's awesome. Well, Beth, I've loved having you come hang out with me and getting to chat with you and sharing some insights and some updates for people, and would love to know. I mean, I know there's one exciting update. Maybe you'll be able to share with us today, maybe not, but that's coming up. So would love to have you share any updates, things that you're working on, and then how everyone can connect with you. I'll definitely put show notes for the episode, but anything you want to share with them or things for them to look out for?
If they're interested in following my networking journey, my website, thenetworkingmotivator.com. And I share a lot of strategies and ideas. It's great for business owners. It's great for people in marketing and sales. It's great for people who are job seekers. If that's their emphasis, trying to build a business, trying to build a network, join me at thenetworkingmotivator.com. And then I am starting to think about sharing my running journey, maybe in a blog, or I have a website actually that they can look at if they're just kind of curious about my team a little bit. And I'll send that to you, Catherine, and you can put it in the show notes.
Very cool. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm excited to check that out for sure.
Yeah. And, so we're going to be competing, like I said, nationally this year. And I think I probably should share that somewhere. I should share that on a blog because people will be interested to see. I didn't even know this existed 10 years ago, but masters track and field and seniors track and field. I'm going to be competing at the senior level. I don't mean high school senior. It's like, I almost can't believe it, but isn't that the lovely thing about running? You're pretty happy about the birthdays that end with 0 and 5.
Right. That is true.
Right? New age group, they're like, heck yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, when you turn 50, you're like, I'm the baby in this category. Yes.
That's very true.
Are you old 54-year-old ladies? I'm gonna whoop you.
Oh, too funny. Well, thank you so much, Beth. It's been a real fun hanging out with you for the podcast and having you share your insights and inspiration.
It's been a blast, Catherine, and I really appreciate what you've done. I love the book. I thought it was beautifully done, and I enjoyed the stories myself that everybody shared, and I really like what you're doing. I thank you very much for having me as a guest.
Aw, well, it's definitely been my pleasure, so thank you again.
Thanks for listening to the Fit 15. For show notes and more, visit fitarmadillo.com/podcast. See you next time.